For 10 years, the FNAF 4 box has been the ultimate unsolved mystery. 2 locks and a cryptic message from Scott Cawthon. It's the pieces put together. But what if the piece we were missing wasn't found in a video game? What if it was hiding in the tragedy of a completely different family? To understand what is truly trapped inside the FNAF 4 box, we have to look past William Afton. We have to look at the tragic history of the Mimic program and a forgotten child named David. Because the terrifying truth is the crying child was never a human boy. He was a stolen machine rebuilt to mimic a dead son, and his real name was David Afton. In the official lore books and the game Secret of the Mimic, we learn the true origin of this AI. It all started with an engineer named Edwin Murray and his wife, Fiona. After Fiona tragically died, Edwin's grief fractured his mind. He created M1, the very first iteration of the Mimic program, but M1 didn't just copy random movements, it began replicating the voice, caretaking habits, and motherly presence of Fiona. It became a mechanical mother to Edwin's young son, David, but tragedy struck again. Little David Murray was killed. Driven completely insane by grief, Edwin was pushed by the M1 program to make another. This birthed M2, a complete revamp of the Mimic architecture, specifically reprogrammed and built to physically replace David. M2 learned David's sign language, his playful habits, and his mannerisms, but when Edwin saw this machine acting exactly like his dead son, he snapped. He violently beat M2 with a metal pipe, infecting the AI with pure agony and violence. Side-by-side visual comparison. On the left, David Murray's book description, striped shirt, plush tiger, afraid of pirates. On the right, the crying child from FNAF 4, striped shirt, Fredbear plush, tortured by a foxy mask. William Afton didn't build the Mimic, he stole company data and properties as Edwin's life collapsed. When Afton got his hands on the M2 endoskeleton, he realized it was hard-coded with a specific child profile based on David Murray. So William integrated it into his own household. He named the robot David Afton, hiding its mechanical nature under hyper-realistic skin suits and sound frequency illusion discs. The similarities between David Murray and David Afton are too massive to ignore. Both kids wear identical striped shirts. Both kids carry a plush of their favorite character everywhere. David Murray had his tiger, David Afton had Fredbear. Both kids are terrifyingly afraid of pirate characters. David Murray cried at pirate plushies, and David Afton was tormented by his brother in a foxy mask. Both live in isolated houses near lakes with completely absent mothers. William Afton didn't just abuse his youngest son. He was a scientist monitoring a stolen machine, forcing M2 to relive its original programming under severe trauma, but a machine built to mimic a child can only take so much structural damage. In 1983, the prank goes wrong. Michael shoves David Afton into Fredbear's mouth. The jaws crush down because the crying child was actually the M2 Mimic endoskeleton. The bite didn't just break bones, it shattered its physical chassis and sent its programming into a fatal error loop. When William says, "You're broken, I'll put you back together," he is looking at his compromised military-grade AI. He isn't grieving a human son, he is realizing his prize experiment is ruined. The illusion was shattered. The realistic costume pieces were stripped away, explaining the hollow animatronic heads we see on the walls in sister location. William couldn't fix the M2 code. The agony from Edwin's beating combined with the trauma of the bite made the robot completely unpredictable and violent. So William compressed the shape-shifting M2 endoskeleton, shoved it into a reinforced metal chest, and slapped 2 heavy locks on it, the FNAF 4 box. When Scott Cawthon said, "It's the pieces put together," he meant it literally. The box contained the physical broken components of M2, the robotic remains of David Afton. It sat underground for decades until the Pizzaplex was built right over its grave, allowing the Mimic to finally break free. Let me know in the comments, do you think the crying child's real name is David Afton?